my life. Let's roll up to be a single star in the sky. I need you to feel me. I wanna word you into my life. Let's love up to make a single star in the sky to you.
Everybody, welcome on back for good. Yeah. When you play bad games, you play them forever. At least forever in your heart. Kuso6rande, the Bad Video Game Tournament, returns to you. We have the second round going on right now. And for this, by the end of the second round, players must have at least 9 points total in order to move on. So let's go ahead and check out what the game is going to be for the next group of participants. Everybody, you know him, you fear him. Yeah, quake in your shoes. We've got Jeff giving out a game. The next game. Come on over, Jeff. Come on over, Jeff. Come on over, Jeff. Jeff.
Hi.
Oh, hey, Jeff. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic, okay? Honestly, I'm just really happy that I was able to get here at a decent time. I thought things were going to be pushed a little bit late, but we didn't have to.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Being on time is fantastic.
Yeah.
Glad to hear you're doing well today. And I love the reception I get when I come into chat. It makes me feel like being a heel in a wrestling match.
Yeah, I know.
Where everybody's booing me.
I was going to say, it looks like everybody's scrambling to try to figure out what's going on whenever you show up.
Scrambling. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. Let's see the game.
Yeah. Scramble. Thank you, Humpty's Restaurants International Incorporated. Is this a
Humpty's
DOS
Scramble.
game?
Maybe. This is maybe the
I actually kinda need to know
27th
that.
consecutive DOS game.
Okay. I just assumed it was DOS because that's sort of your jam. Sort of your bread and butter. Yeah, as far as I know, this is a game about an egg. And is it an advertisement game? Is that what you're giving us?
Maybe.
Aw, we love you, Jeff. We love you for that.
This is an advertisement for a Canadian restaurant called Humpty's, or I guess a small chain in Alberta, Canada. So it is technically international. It's not an American game, but it's uncomfortably close to the United States for my taste. But I think you all will enjoy it.
Uncomfortably close?
Yeah, I prefer to go like Europe, Middle East, Asia.
Oh, you mean that way. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't care. I like eggs. Okay. If anybody gives me a fried egg, I'll eat it. In fact, actually, no, I didn't have any eggs today. But I could have. Somebody I ate food with had eggs over easy, so that's my connection to eggs. Oh, I also got to play Humpty Dumpty back when we had church plays. Oh my gosh, sorry.
What's a good connection?
Yeah, I was Humpty Dumpty, and I don't think I swore, because it was a church play, but I feel like I would have.
Did you fall?
I did. Heck yeah.
That explains a lot. Sorry.
Wow. Well, thank you, Jeff. Thank you. I also had, I think, the ugliest costume. Most people don't think of poster board being a viable costume option, but for me, oh, it was.
You're a good egg, though. I'll give you that.
Oh, good. I'm happy to hear. Thank you for commenting on my egginess.
And I'm sure that that play you were in, if you had to fall, that must have been kind of traumatic. But at least now it's over.
Please, Jeff, don't make multilingual puns, okay? That
I
was
can make
good
Latin
yoke. Herder. Yeah, good yoke. See?
Yuck.
Yoke. I can do crappy puns as well, okay? Actually, the people I ate breakfast with today, they were just making puns left and right, and I'm like, no, I don't need this in my life anymore, okay? I quit that life. I quit the pun life.
You can't quit.
I tried.
That's not a thing. It follows you.
Harder to quit than cigarettes. That's puns for you, everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, harder to quit than cigarettes. It's a real drag.
Wow. Yeah, and I'm always the butt of your jokes. Eggy. Yeah, we're having eggy video games today.
We had a lot of egg games this season.
Actually, yeah, PlayStation 1 we had egg, and I actually really like that game.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I want to play egg. By the way, Jeff did manage to track down the developer for this, and hopefully the Kuso6rande Twitter got a tweet out to them to let them know that we're playing this game. Because, even though this is a bad video game tournament, we still have a lot of love for the bad video games that show up here.
Yeah, and he mentioned in a comment online that the game is intentionally cheesy. So,
shouldn't it be eggy?
No, that's just stupid.
Eggs are like the cheese of the bird world.
What does that even mean?
I'm not telling you, okay? I'm never telling you, not letting you know.
So yeah, this is a game. As you can see in the top left corner, part of the game is Doom, and on everybody else's screen, it is a platformer.
I'm a little bit concerned. Okay, I'm letting the players know that I'm ready. Let's see if they are set. Well, everybody, I have a feeling you all have good ideas for what emotes are going to work for spam. Anything egg related. And if you have no eggs, then Doom.
There's going to be some sharks, maybe.
Okay.
Some sharks are good.
Countdown is happening, so everybody spam your best egg votes if you can. As soon as I see movement in the first stage, I will start our timer. Yeah, breakfast, eggs. Angry people, they kind of look like eggs.
Why do so many people have great egg emotes? This is amazing.
So they're playing Hamlet?
Yeah, Hamlet. For children under 7 years old.
Ah, perfect. As soon as I see voluntary movement from the players, I will start our timer.
I want them all to play out the cutscene because it's fascinating. You want to get a little bit of lore, too.
I just hope we don't run into any evil wizards. Yeah, you're very lucky, little buddy. Yeah! Who are you? Uh-oh. Yeah! Who are you? What did you do with Hamlet? I am the wizard for the castle on the mountain! I need your little buddy for some cooking experiments! Oh no, let him go right now. Only release your friend if you can find my dungeon! Good luck!
I mean, I feel like this lore could have been generated by AI Dungeon.
Yeah.
But
I have to rescue Hamlet. I mean, little generic lore, but that's fine. Whatever. It's an advertisement game. You don't need deep lore. Do you really want to find out, like, the
yes, I do.
restaurant was founded by an egg?
Yes.
Oh.
I want to know. I love as much lore as possible. I play games for the story.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, if you like RPGs, this game might be up
Yeah.
your alley, everybody.
So, okay, progress is being measured based on score, which is a little unusual for our matches, but there's reasons for this. This is from the era when games were sort of intended. It's 1998, where games were sort of intended to be played for score. And the game's not super long. I mean, I think people would probably be able to finish it in about half an hour if they were just breezing through it. And the levels are a little bit non-linear, so it would be difficult to measure. And just sort of a big part of the intended strategy of the game is to collect as many of these items as you can. The coins give you points. There are eggs. I don't know, fried eggs maybe.
Why do you?
Can't
why
really tell.
You're an egg collecting
Don't question
cooked
it.
eggs?
So,
That's a little morbid.
no. It's not morbid because we're not thinking about it. So,
Well, I
and then
was
there are
thinking.
also some eggs that have green sparkles around them, and those are worth more points. They don't do anything. And then there's some eggs with even more green sparkles. You can collect lives to get more points, but since we're playing on baby mode, which is for kids under 7, you will start each level with at least 6 lives. So
Okay.
if you have 7, it will remember that you have 7, but otherwise you get 6. So there's not a lot of penalty for taking some risks in this game, and I don't expect to see much game overs. The life system, though, it's one-hit knockout.
Okay.
So the lives are kind of more like health, and when you die, you restart the game from the beginning. However, that would really sort of mess things up here because it takes a while to gather scores. So what we're letting the contestants do is save the game and restore. And this adds a really interesting challenge to it because they can restore whenever they want. So if they finish a level too quickly, they have a choice to make. Do they want to go and replay the level again? It doesn't save exactly where you are. It saves your score at the beginning of the level.
Okay. That is actually kind of fascinating that there are going to be various ways to increase the score, that some things will definitely increase it more than others. Essentially gave them the goal, figure out what gets you the most or the highest score, and then grind that out. Finishing levels doesn't matter. The score is the only thing that matters for this match.
Exactly. In fact, people might even finish the game and come in last, right? I mean, it's all going to be based on score. Rushing through it is not going to be the best strategy. But maybe they find that the density of items that give you score are greater if you go on to the next level. There's going to be some diminishing returns, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to spend too much time looking for the very last coin. I don't think anybody's going to 100% the game in an hour.
Honestly,
Although,
I think that my goal early on would be to just sort of get through as much of the game as possible to see where the good scoring sections are.
yeah, then you can go right back to whatever level you
Yep.
want. There's I think 5 save slots. So, and there's, I want to say 16 levels for each part. The first 2 parts are going to be
no, cutscene.
the first 2 parts are going to be well, let me let this play out.
Humpty, help! Oh. Well, that is very sad.
Yes. I feel bad for this wizard because his range is gigantic. Like, it must be really hard for him to use, and it only has one burner on it.
Oh, that's what you meant by range. I thought you meant his acting range. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's a very, like, one-dimensional character.
I don't think he's acting. I think that's really him.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so the first two parts of the game are going to be this platformer. Then, as you saw at the beginning, there's a 3D portion of the game. There's no violence. I'm not a big fan of games with guns and killing and all that kind of stuff.
I'm not convinced, Jeff.
What do you mean?
Well, I can't recall any games that you've given that have had violence and killing. Okay, maybe you're right. Yeah.
There's probably some, and there's certainly like jumping on enemies' heads to kill them, like you have with the spiders here. I'm not a huge fan of that, but you know, I that's just my preference. Some of the games I see that could probably be good for a match, I just sort of pass on because they're not my thing. I have my own thing.
Okay, fair enough, Jeff. Fair enough.
Yeah, there
There
have been a few things with guns. That's true.
Wait,
But
yeah, was Sabor? That was all about killing each other. Come on. We
There are
saw
no
so
guns.
much death. Well, they're punching, and
It
then
was
people
punching.
died and turned into bats.
they didn't die. They turned into bats. They just TF'd and flew away. That's okay.
Okay.
In fact, they probably liked it.
I mean, it's possible. Who am I to say? He had Dunk Kong. I'm pretty sure that had blood at some point.
So there are these sort of larger egg things with question marks on them, and those do one of two things. They either teleport you, or they make your controls turn upside down, and at the same time, they double the number of points you get. So that can, for a limited time. So that can be pretty helpful if you play well and sort of figure out a strategy for collecting a lot of coins and eggs while you're in double point mode. It also means it's pretty hard to figure out if there's really a maximum score you can get in this game.
Yeah.
So when people start posting tons of scores to Twin Galaxies, it'll be a little hard to prove whether people are doing it right.
I mean, just post them. Let Twin Galaxies figure out if it's legit or not.
Make sure you have somebody watching you live while you do it.
I mean,
Get a referee over there.
Get a referee over there. Just call your mom. Hey, mom, want to be my referee for today? No.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. As long as your mom is already a Twin Galaxies referee, then it'll work.
Yeah, I think so.
My gosh, this precision platforming that Skytrap was doing. Surprisingly difficult.
Some of it is a little tricky. But in general, this is not a game that's Kuso because it's severely difficult. And because they get to restart each level with 6 lives, and there are extra lives you can pick up within the levels, if you take it slowly, you shouldn't have a lot of trouble. Oh, hey, there's a giant burb.
Yeah, okay. Here's something that I'm gonna say that you really can't get away with for most games, but for an advert game, I kind of am okay with the clash of art styles, because you've got these 3D characters and 3D enemies, and then you've got 2D cartoon bird, which, I don't know, as soon as I see that, it's like, yeah, this is totally a Jeff game. A game that Jeff gave out.
Yes. Hey, we're on the shark level. You know what that means? And we're
no,
playing
I
his baby.
don't.
And we're playing his baby.
Wait, is baby saved?
Okay, now everybody has it stuck in their head.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's sharks.
No, we're playing as egg.
Yes, but there's sharks.
Eggs are like proto babies.
There is sharks. There is sharks.
I'm not going to acknowledge this. Not acknowledging it.
It doesn't make it go away. In fact, now it's stuck in your head even if I don't do anything.
Okay. By the way, there are speed runs of this game. The shortest completion is 8 minutes, 17 seconds. That's for Hamlet any percent. But there's also Humpty any percent. Wait, can you play as both Hamlet and Humpty?
Yes and no. So, one, you always play as Hamlet, but the modes are called Hamlet and Humpty.
Oh,
So
that's right. Difficulty level.
Yeah. So at the beginning, I had them choose Hamlet for children children under 7. Humpty is 7 and up. Important if you are 7 years old. To be precise about it. Because
Okay.
you don't want this game to be too hard for you.
Yeah, so question, what changes the number of lives?
Yes. I mean, this is the primary thing. You carry the number of lives from level to level if you play on the harder mode.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that would make it a little harder, I presume.
And, no offense to the 6-year-olds who are here that I'm calling this baby level. But, it basically is for babies. I mean, if you're 6, you should probably still be able to get through this on the harder mode.
By the way, look at Duller's Fred. That is a pretty dang good score. 619,000 points.
Yeah. It's going to be real interesting to see what people do.
Oh my gosh, this game. Like, I'm sorry, the doo-doo part of the music is too good.
Yes, absolutely.
Duct Tape got a secret bonus area. Surprise, the bonus area had more eggs.
Yeah, I mean, there's a limited number of things you can get for points. And you see at the end of the level, it gives you an indication of how many of the bonus items you got. So you can then see, gee, did I do a good job or did I leave behind a lot of things? You can see from the high score table that I may have played this game a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Oh my gosh, I still really dig this. By the way, the person who made this, Craig Hall, apparently Jeff has been sending some correspondence back and forth.
Not exactly. I saw a bunch of comments he made on YouTube, so I looked up his Twitter.
Oh, okay.
And that's how I got the Twitter account to send it out to. He made something which is really cool, which is an app called iColor, and it it does two things. One is it helps people with color blindness play games by identifying what colors are on the screen, and two, it helps developers to see what a game might look like for somebody who's colorblind. So I think that's just a really fantastic thing to make.
Interesting. Okay. I might have to check that out because I always liked looking at some of those tools. Craig Hall, by the way, is still working on games. From what I see, has been specifically working on Dead Rising? Is that right?
Sounds like it. I mean, he's
Blue Castle Games.
He's pretty accomplished. His website is Base Metal Games, so that's where you can find iColor Tool. That's what it's called. You can also find it on the Apple App Store.
Yep, and considering that was made at the studio in Vancouver, which is where he lives. I would presume this is the same Craig Hall I'm looking at. He worked on some of the Dead Rising games, SSX. Apparently he wrote some of the dialogue on To the Moon 2013 Holiday Special.
I noticed he's followed by Ken Gao, who made To the Moon. I was like, hey, I wonder if there's a connection there. That's one of my favorite games.
Yeah, that's cool. Honestly, for a silly little advertisement game here, especially if it's being given out for free, this is probably about the quality that I would expect. And that's completely fine. Honestly, we need shorter games with worse graphics. Maybe better music, though.
This was made entirely by 2 people, which is pretty cool. Like, the music, the graphics, the level design, everything. And then they had the restaurant staff do some play testing of it. But yeah, these 2 people managed to get this contract and did, honestly, like, a far better job than I've seen for a lot of the bigger brands, where you get like very generic platformers that really have nothing whatsoever to do with the brand. I mean, there's egg stuff all over the place here, and although it's got a sort of collect-a-thon aspect to it if you play it that way, you can also play it for a speed run. So it's pretty neat, and I've never seen a game that is both a 2D platformer and also Doom. So that's pretty cool.
Besides that was a 3D platformer and also Doom. I was thinking of the Sonic Doom hack, but no, that was definitely 3D, not 2D. You're right. I've never seen those 2 genres really combined effectively, or at all.
We'll get to see that hopefully a little bit later in this game, but I mean, they could have just been done with this platformer after the 2 parts and been like, and just called it a day. But no, they went and they made what's basically another entire game to put after this.
I do have to wonder, did they make an entirely different game, or did they just take the Doom engine and do a reskin?
I'm not sure exactly. When I say do another entire game, I don't necessarily mean every aspect of it was done from scratch. I just mean I don't know a lot of developers that would finish a 2D platformer and then say, hey, let's double the length of the game by putting in a completely different genre.
Yeah.
And that's super cool because you get to continue following and being this character in a different context.
Yeah.
Like when they made Bubsy, they could have been like, hey, let's put Bubsy 2 and Bubsy 3D together and make it one game. But no, they sold that as 2 separate games.
I mean, they were also made at different times, so it makes sense. Yeah, I'm looking at a little bit of the history of the restaurant, by the way, because Humpty's was founded in 1977. 2 people who never had worked in a restaurant. Essentially, they bought a small 50-seat place, and then it grew where they established a catering company along with soup and sandwich shops. And basically, they were like, oh my gosh, we could do all-day breakfast. Because nobody here is doing all-day breakfast, but we could be the ones. And so they started doing that, and guess what? It worked. Yeah.
You can have breakfast for dinner?
You can have eggs any time of the day. Yeah, breakfast for dinner, breakfast for breakfast, breakfast for lunch, breakfast for a midnight snack. Breakfast is completely okay every time of the day.
That's genius.
Yeah. The restaurant's original name came from the association between eggs. I'm sorry. Okay, let me finish reading this. The restaurant's original name came from the association between eggs, the all-day breakfast concept, and the storybook character Humpty Dumpty. Wow, Humpties.com/about has a lot of helpful information. Okay. Given the families were a key target for the new restaurant, the association between breakfast and the character was a natural fit. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah. I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to think of Humpty as a name for a place that has eggs. I don't know, Corndan. Could you think of a better egg-related name for a restaurant? Actually, yeah. In Salt Lake, there's Eggs in the City, which is really tasty. Well,
I mean, that's just another pun.
Yeah.
That's another pun.
Well, Humpty's isn't even a pun. It's breaking copyright. Whoever invented Humpty Dumpty could sue.
I think that's old enough that's not a problem.
Oh, okay.
Generally, by the time things are in nursery rhymes.
Okay,
they're
well then
old.
it's using public domain characters. Yeah. And Eggs in the City isn't. More original.
Yeah, it's using it's a pun off of something that's trademarked. Or copyright. I guess it wouldn't be trademarked, but
I suppose. Wait. What exactly are you thinking that it's a pun off of?
Sex in the City.
Okay, that's Sex and the City. This is Eggs in the City. There's a huge difference.
But it sounds so similar. I mean, that's the point of puns.
What do they sell? They
cool.
sell eggs. They sell breakfast. It's good stuff.
Why else would they call it eggs? I mean, I don't know. If it's not a pun, why would they do that?
I don't know.
Is it actually in a city?
Yeah, it's down in Salt Lake. It's actually a really tasty place as well. Or I guess it's in Mill Creek, right near Salt Lake. Yeah. Oh, I hate the description of that restaurant. Buzzy eatery with a hip vibe.
Also, it
makes it sound like there are lots of bees. I don't want to go to a place that has bees.
No, like there's a buzz around it. That doesn't always imply bees.
Well, it does to me. Go away, bees.
It means that a lot of people talking about it. There's a buzz.
Yeah, they're talking about it because of all the bees.
Or it could be your phone.
My phone has bees in it?
No, give someone a buzz.
Oh.
That means call them. And hopefully you don't have bees for your ringtone.
Millennial slang.
No, that's boomer slang.
Oh, crap. Is it?
Give someone a buzz is pretty old.
Maybe that's Gen X slang. I don't know. We never think of Gen X.
I do because I'm Gen X.
Yeah, Mr. Gen X up here giving us Humpty's Scramble.
Yeah, I'm the resident boomer. Oh, actually, I think we have a couple of GMs that are in the age range.
For boomers or for Gen X?
For Gen X.
I don't think we have any boomers as GMs. If we have any boomers here, I'm actually really cool with boomers who keep up with technology. My father is one of those. And yeah, essentially as soon as the internet existed, he's like, we're getting that. We're getting the internet. Oh no, duct tape! You're falling! Oh, you didn't even need spikes. He's an egg he would have cracked.
All right, we got some Doom here.
Yes!
And we got a score of 1.1 million. But duct tape is on an earlier level and not too far behind. So, Dolores Fred's about to figure out how many points you get in these Doom levels and may decide at that point to go back a little bit.
Oh, you can jump!
Yeah, you can jump in a 3D game.
Oh,
I mean, this looks like quite a bit more than a Doom mod, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean,
somebody was... I don't know exactly which engine is used here. Somebody was saying that it's not Doom engine per se.
There were a couple of 3D games by 1998, but I just sort of used Doom to be funny. I thought I was funny. I was wrong.
Wait.
'Cause it's a cute platformer, so I said Doom. I
Yeah,
could have said like Hexen or something.
I'm taking a look, by the way, at some of the resources that are available on speedrun.com for Humpty's Scramble. And apparently there's a magical maze. And I'm a little bit concerned because it says, beware that going through the wrong door will reset your progress. Kinda. Sometimes? Just go through these doors and you'll be fine. At the end, there are a few false exits once you leave the red room. Just go past them and check every exit on your left until you find the purple room, then turn left once inside and make a beeline for the exit.
Yeah, this is the magic maze.
Okay.
But I think it's less of a problem getting sent back someplace when you're playing for score.
Yeah, I would agree there.
And I also have a feeling that while there are some parts where there are a decent amount of score in this, players might find they want to go back a little bit earlier. But and particularly like if you reach the end of the game, which could happen since we're more than halfway through the game for Fred before the halfway point, we're gonna have to figure out how do they want to deal with that. Just go back to the last level, or go back 3 levels and see if you can beat what you did earlier. So
Yeah.
I think honestly, like you have to measure the diminishing returns in this, but I think they're going to generally be well served spending a fair amount of time on each stage.
Yeah, I think so. I do worry a little bit for Dolorous Fred. Just being this far, going back to earlier stages will take the point progress all the way back. Like, there's no way to carry this score to earlier stages. It's just not going to happen. He is in the lead at this point, but will he be able to hold on to that lead? I don't know.
You do get some bonus points for finishing the game, so it's not huge. It's I think 10,000 per life. So you're probably better off going back to an earlier level and seeing if you can get another 100,000. Because once you finish the game, I mean, what else are you going to do? You have to go back to an earlier point.
So for those asking what place various players are in, here's an easy solution. Look at their scores, because this is a score-based match. However, we also do take into consideration the highest score. If Dolorous Fred went back, the high score that he has gotten is still 1.223 million. Skytrap is at 971,000. That would be 4th place at this current point, but it could change. Who knows?
I mean, Dusty is actually potentially doing the best by having 1.1 million before getting to the maze.
Yeah, that's huge.
And with half an hour left, that's a pretty good position.
Yeah.
One other thing I wanted to clarify about the scoring, they don't need to die in order to have their score entered. We're not going by necessarily what's on the high score table.
Okay.
Although I've told them if they do happen to die, it would be nice of them to enter their score into the table, so it'll be easier for a referee if they need to go back.
Oh yeah.
So that's why they're doing that. But yeah, if the time just ends and they have the current score they have is the highest they've done, then they get to keep that. I've seen it done differently actually in other tournaments where you have to die and get it put into the high score table.
Yeah.
Which again, it makes it a little easier to referee, but we're willing to do to not make people die. I don't like death.
I think that's fair.
Fewer
honestly,
deaths is good.
Yeah, less death, more eggs. Eggs are death.
eggs are also the devil sometimes.
The devil?
Yeah, deviled eggs.
Oh, well, okay. So's cake then. Well, I guess cake's just
Yeah.
the devil's food.
Yeah. Yeah, so are the eggs. Eggs and cake, that's what the devil eats.
Devil's food eggs.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so just so everybody knows as well, this is actually a very important match for the players. They took 4th place in their first match, which means that to stay in, they need to come in at least 2nd place. 2 people are getting eliminated because of Humpty's Scramble. However, I think this also is one of those games where, like, it's very easy to feel that you're making tangible progress. You know, every time your score goes up, you know that you are making more progress than what you were at before.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's some games where I'd feel bad if somebody went out with that particular game. They're kind of mean games, and people might feel like they didn't get anywhere.
Yeah.
I think, however, whatever place people come in, like you said, there's tangible progress.
Yes. That's sort of what I'm thinking as well. Every once in a while, like, there's a game that I want to give out, but I realize, if I do, somebody will be out of the tournament. And it just doesn't feel quite right. So, I don't know. I tend to be, like, let some of the cruel games still be chosen, just when, it'll make life a little bit more difficult for one of the players and not completely eliminate them,
Yeah. I mean, it might not be clear to folks, but there's a lot of thought that the GMs put into deciding which games. It's not just like, haha, that's funny. We try and make this a great experience for the audience and the players as well, so everybody comes away having a good time.
Yeah, the rough thing about choosing games as well is that it's impossible to be completely objective or completely fair when you're giving things out. That's just sort of the nature of a tournament. Some people are going to be more skilled in certain genres. Some people are going to be less skilled. And simply put, if we know that somebody usually does well in a specific genre and has won tournaments before, then, we tend to be a little bit crueler to them and give them something that maybe they don't have as much experience with. It's just sort of the nature of the beast when it comes to competing, that the more we know you, the more difficult your life is going to be.
Yeah, maybe that's why people who are new to Kuso do so well. We don't...
Because we haven't figured out their weakness yet?
But yeah, I mean, also, some of the, we pick games that are very janky, and so, we try to find things that are fair, but sometimes, the game's just gonna mess up, or it's gonna do something that doesn't seem fair.
Yeah.
And that just comes with the territory, so you gotta take the punches and roll with them. Is that the expression? I think that's the expression.
Yeah, that sounds about
punch.
right. I do like that Professor Ness is showing up and asking if we're getting the same software experience on all of the screens, and in fact, we are. Yes. It's
Yes, it's the
Humpty
same piece
Scramble.
of software.
Okay, they scrambled various genres together in order to make this masterpiece.
I could see why somebody might think this is just like a BizHawk shuffler, though. Like with 2 completely different games.
Yeah, like, we've done nothing weird with this. This is just how the game was released.
Yeah.
In Canada. Actually, maybe we can just, pin this on Canada. They sometimes do things different than we do, You wouldn't see, like, the Doom developers making, combining these 2 different genres in a single game. No, why would they? But yeah, Canada.
Well, remember, this game is also geared towards a family restaurant, and it goes along really well with that. I mean, I see a lot of games that, a lot of advert games that don't really seem to make a ton of sense as to why they were marked. Like, how the game plays doesn't necessarily relate to why they're being marketed, and this actually works pretty well. Um, it's aimed towards kids because it's a family restaurant. You're selling like cars or whatever. I mean, I guess you could make a cute kids game, but
Well,
it
I'm
doesn't seem to
thinking
hit as well.
another one that hit pretty well with the brand was Yoho Yoho.
Yeah,
Because that one had some ridiculous stuff, but the ridiculous things were directly from the advertising campaign. And so, people associated the brand with humor and kind of ridiculous stuff. The game delivered. Absolutely delivered on that, yeah. For this, I'm not sure if they advertised, like, mazes. Maybe on the kids' menus, they had mazes. That would directly reflect the restaurant experience, maybe fear of fireballs.
yeah. I mean, hopefully things don't light on fire like that. The floor is not on fire at the restaurant, but I mean, that would make a kind of fun theme. Like, if the restaurant was a maze and you had to find your breakfast by wandering around and being chased by fireballs. I'd enjoy that. Kids like things that are dangerous. So.
I did find... I think I found an app that they have. Yeah, they still have the same mascot, by the way. Humpty in the green hat.
Not. I mean, this is so great.
This is scary. Yeah, I think it might be an iPad app or something. Scramble, kids! You can choose over easy ages 1 through 4 or hard boiled ages 5 through 8.
What about over 8?
You have to buy from the adult menu at that point. Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah. Turns out, in the US, you can start ordering from the adult menu when you're 21, but in Canada, 8 years old.
So I don't know what Dolores Fred is doing. I guess he thinks that there's enough time to play through the entire game again.
Maybe. Well, I mean, technically, maybe, but
that might be a good strategy.
Okay,
we'll see.
He's actually ending. I think he's gonna load one of his other saves.
That's a good
just
call.
Starting from the beginning. Okay, I don't know.
I mean, it is clear to all of the competitors what they have to do. I made very clear how progress is measured and the importance of saving. So I assume anything being done is an intentional strategy. And honestly, I mean, it wouldn't be that hard given 20 minutes to go through the entire game again. I'm not sure it's a strategy, but if you get to the end and you're like, gee, the place that I really messed up is like level 1.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where you have to go.
The egg just said that it's smaller from the outside, and it almost looked like it was going to be a Doctor Who reference, but that wasn't as far as I know, that phrase really didn't happen until later on. Clara Oswald saying specifically, the opposite of what people usually say. But maybe in the earlier seasons they also had that phrase. And maybe it's a Doctor Who reference. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and say that canon, in my headcanon says that Humpty is actually the 13th Doctor.
13th Doctor.
Yeah.
That would be a
Maze
great
is
name.
the TARDIS.
Dr.
Xerxes, you love Egg? Well, good. Egg loves you back.
So yeah, I mean, it looks like Dasvi's strategy has paid off pretty well, getting to 1.5 million by this part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But still very much anybody's game. Dolores Fred knows all the levels really well now, so might be able to make a run and figure out exactly where they need to focus. Oh, it looks like he's going back to level 7. All right. So we'll see how that how that works.
Oh. Okay.
They also,
I think that's
assume that-
probably a good choice, not going back too far. Focus, on one of your later saves and get a good score with those. I mean, considering that everybody else is pretty much moved on to the Doom-like stages, there's no way for the players to really know how far the other players are or what their score is. But you got to focus on yourself. What is going to be the best bet on getting a higher score? The players don't know how many levels are left either. How many are there after the maze?
That's it. I mean, it's 4 levels of platforming and then 4 levels of maze.
Okay.
I think they could hypothesize from the fact that there were 4 levels of platforming that there might be 4 levels of the maze. But, they have 20 minutes, so I think they're all going to find out.
Yeah, you're probably right. Duct tape onto the magical maze. I've been in a few life-size mazes.
Yeah.
It's really not practical to build them out of brick, though, okay? Because then, every time somebody comes and visits, it's just the same maze.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you're going to build a castle, you're going to have, they call it a maze, but let's say it's sort of a labyrinth. That's what you're going to do. You're going to build it out of stone.
Then again, if I had that much money to just build a maze out of bricks and mortar, I probably would do it. That would be a lot of fun. I love sending children into mazes.
This wizard has enough money to just be leaving all these coins around the maze. So, also, we don't really know if this, it was built with bricks and mortar, but it could have been the wizard just waved his wand and all of a sudden, there's the maze.
Yeah,
because wizards do that.
I do know that at least in one place that we visited, we were doing a road trip across the U.S. and somewhere in the Midwest there was a maze that they put up that just had, I'm not sure if it was plyboard or something like that forming the walls. Every 2 weeks they would move the plyboard around and create a new maze for people. So pretty much every time anybody visited, it was going to be a different experience. And I think that was the most practical, to have a maze as a business. And it was cool. Other than that, corn mazes are popular around here.
You mean mazes?
Corn. Oh my gosh. Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Ursencha, this is what you signed up for when you allowed me to be a GM.
You offer a kernel and he takes the whole cob.
Yeah, I do. Although, generally, if you offer me a kernel, I'll take a general.
Okay. General Cobb.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a General Cobb out there somewhere, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I don't get invited to dinner parties.
Yeah, see, this is why I changed my life, okay? This is why I stopped doing as many puns in my life, because they were like, your name Jeff? I'm like, no, it's not Jeff.
Hey, Ursencha. No, I'm kidding.
Nope. You're in trouble, mister. You are so in trouble. Because, well, I think mostly it's like I realize there's so much more to the humorous world out there, okay? Like Seinfeld, they didn't do too many puns.
That's true. Seinfeld was funny in a very original way.
Yeah, yeah. They ate Snickers with a fork and a knife.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that is
That's funny.
comedy gold. That's comedy gold.
Yeah, everybody, that's funny.
Yeah, you actually do have a lot of different types of humor. I appreciate that.
I
have one.
have. This is going to sound really nerdy. I've studied humor. I've put a lot of work into figuring things out. It's not. Yeah. I'm a professional humorist, I guess. Well, I don't know. As soon as you get paid for any humor at all, you're a professional. That's just how it goes. Yeah, I was a professional improviser.
Yeah, humor sounds much better than like other words they have, like class clowns. Like, hey, I was good at making jokes in school. Now look at me. People pay me to do it.
Yeah, I have thought about doing stand-up before, but really, I just like to sit down with people and laugh. Just sort of like the live commentary that we have going on here, you know? Just laugh about what's going on, react. This is sort of my sort of thing. And telling stories. I love telling stories.
What about Utah? Let's hear some Utah. Do you have any egg facts about Utah?
Well, depends. Does an egg have a crotch?
How is that your response?
Well, you missed last match. Jeff.
Oh, that's true. I was busy telling everybody about eggs and the importance of saving. That's true. But okay, all right, it's a callback. That's a type of humor. Excellent.
Yeah, exactly. And it's even better when Jeff has no idea what I'm talking about.
But maybe also some of our audience joined us a little later and don't know what you're talking about either. So.
See, yeah, the great thing about that is that like half of the people in chat will know what I'm talking about, and half of the people will be like, did he just talk about an egg's crotch? And then there's also the extra level of irony that this specific egg that we're watching here does have a crotch. And a butt.
I'm not sure that's
so
that's
the butt
what
crotch
means.
zone is back in vogue with this game, okay? The butt crotch zone.
Sure. Let's go with that. So in egg's butt, is that basically just the bottom part of it, or is it like the behind that's sort of on the side above the bottom part?
I love Cat's reaction. Please don't make me contemplate Humpty's crotch. Oh, it's there. And now you're aware. You're in for a scare.
Humpty is so happy, right? I mean, for somebody that's running through a maze filled with fireballs and death, he's pretty cheerful fella.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I were an egg, I'd be very unsatisfied with life. Be like, wow, haven't existed for very long. I'm an egg. What do I even do as... Oh, no. Oh, sorry. I can't talk about that. I had dinner with some friends last night, and... Do I want to scar everybody here?
Yes.
Everybody? Okay, everybody. Essentially, they had to go see a doctor, get an MRI and stuff, and there were some health issues, but the doctors told her that she had a lot of eggs. And the other friend was like, yeah, she's like a lobster. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that... Do lobster... Yeah, and I'm like, maybe I don't want to know what that means. I'm not going to Google it. I'm going to go ahead and not think about lobsters right now. Or, yeah, any of that.
You don't want to Google lobster eggs?
Oh my gosh, especially not on Google Images, no.
I mean, honestly, turn on safe search, do that. It's better than a lot of
There
other
is no
places.
safe search for lobster eggs, okay? There is no safe search.
And there are certain websites you probably don't want to click on when they come up.
Any of them.
And you know which ones those are.
All of them. If it has a URL, I'm not clicking on it. Okay? I'm done.
The next time you play AI Dungeon, I want to see lobster eggs coming up.
No! Never! Never ever!
I'm so glad I've discovered I've hit a nerve. We know something about you now.
That I
Lobster
don't want
eggs.
to. Like,
Two things to never
we were
mention.
eating dinner. We were literally sitting down eating dinner, and I'm like, if my mother were here, she would chew you out so bad. They're like, well, that's why I'd never eat dinner with your mother then. Meh.
Well, I shouldn't eat dinner with you either if you get so upset.
Well, if you're talking about lobster eggs, I don't want to eat dinner with you. Hey, Dusby has finished the game. Doesn't really matter too much. We are going for high score. Whoever gets the highest score wins. I'm sorry that you take something like that personally, because that's weird.
Speaking of lobsters, you know I'm vegan, so I don't eat lobsters, but this one time I was at a place that imports directly from China vegetarian food, and they had a huge block of tofu that was shaped like a lobster and dyed red. And it was the weirdest thing. It actually, and somehow they flavored it to give it a kind of lobster flavor.
Okay.
So I brought it home. I felt so bad putting it into the oven.
It's tofu.
I know, but it looked like a lobster. I mean, I would have felt even worse boiling it, but still.
You could have, well, yeah, boiled tofu. No, you gotta fry it. Gotta fry the tofu, okay? Make it crispy. Crispy on the outside.
To cut it with a knife, and like all the tofu juice came out. Because like when you just get this block of tofu, you don't have an opportunity to like squeeze all the water out of it. You just cook it the way it comes, and it came in like this shrink wrap. There was like no label on it, so you don't know what's in it. It's just like, here's a red tofu lobster. I mean, I didn't even know it was tofu until I got it home and opened it up, because who knows? I mean, I could tell it wasn't an actual lobster, but...
By the way, I'm going to talk about the game for a second. I hope you're not upset about that. Dasvi is taking a little bit of a pause right now. He did finish the game, but again, that doesn't matter. What we're going for is high score. So he's going back to the castle here. Honestly, I have a hard time seeing... Like, I feel like Dasvi could win if he plays the game. Dolores Fred could potentially pass... Well, okay, not like that.
I mean, 1.57 million's pretty good on this game. So, I'm sorry, 1.7 million. No, 1.57 million. Is that what I saw?
I think so. 1.5? Yeah, 1.57.
Dolores is at 1.43 million. So, yeah, I mean, I think Dasvi just had a really great strategy of going
apparently he made it up to 1.76 million per chat.
Okay.
Thank you so much, chat.
Okay.
So yeah,
I saw 1.7.
I feel like Dasvi is likely going to take the victory here. Like, simply put, there might not be enough points in these final Doom levels for the other players to pass Dasvi. Dasvi just collecting as many points as possible. Honestly, yeah, that's what you really want to do. Extend your lead in the final minutes as much as possible. I mean, he doesn't know he's in the lead, so he just really wants to try to get a new high score.
One of the reasons I set it up like this with score is to emphasize the strategy aspect of it, rather than, a lot of times the games we have are very heavy on how good are you at platforming.
Yeah.
And obviously strategy almost always plays a part when you're doing races, but this is the platforming parts of it were hard, but I mean, really the hard part is exercising some judgment on strategy here.
Yeah, how much time do you want to spend on early levels? How much time do you want to spend on later levels? If you don't get a good enough score on early levels, do you think there will be enough points later on to actually compensate for that? And in general, video games tend not to have more pickups in later stages. They'll usually have the same amount. So getting the idea early on how many points are basically achievable in the early stages will give you a decent enough gauge to know how much time you should spend on it. And there's just a lot of meta
surprise, right? Because they see at the end of the level how many of the items they collected. So, it's not like just by luck somebody gets a lot of points on one level. Like you know how well you did.
It's very strange. I don't think we've ever had a match where that type of consideration was really important. But that's usually because the games, were long enough that they wouldn't be completable anyway. Or they were arcade-style games where you have one level that they essentially just have to get better and better and better at. This is not about getting better. This is about judgment. And at this point, they are pretty much nailed into the judgment that they had so far.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to mix things up a little bit.
I like it. It's an interesting way to do a match here.
Different strategies, games that are in English. Just keep them guessing.
Games that are in English. Oh, Jeff, you never cease to surprise me. I do like these fireball tornadoes. Like, where's the wind coming from?
Well, no, the wind would put them out. They have their own vortex.
Okay. Dolorous Fred, I think, has saved the nerd. Good job. And that is the end of the game for Dolorous Fred. I don't think anybody is going to be able to pass Dasvi at this point. Dolorous Fred going in. Oh. Sorry,
Is only first place what matters for this match?
No, the first two.
First two. Okay, got it.
What did I do?
I don't know. I assume that's rhetorical.
I don't know either. Okay, I basically accidentally punched the microphone and it flew into my face and hit my nose.
A little different now. I don't know if that's because your nose is bleeding into it or because it's placed differently.
It sounds like I'm talking into a webcam now. Uh-oh.
Hey, Justin, I think we might need your help here.
Justin's not here.
Oh, gosh, you're going to have to deal with this yourself. Oof.
Well, crap. Okay, give me a second. People?
Well, this is the last match, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I think I might have hit the microphone backwards. Maybe that'll work. Is that better? Is that better, everybody? Can you hear me just fine?
We can hear you just fine now.
Okay. Yeah, I accidentally turned the microphone backwards when I punched it and hit my face. Welcome to Kuso6rande, everybody. Hope you're having a good time.
All right, well, now you're not distracted by that, so you can focus on getting the timer perfect.
See, I've got the slapstick humor as well.
Yeah, it loses a little something when this is
when they can't see
no visual, when they can't see you.
They understood, you know. It was implied slapstick.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
we have
so
our map.
So close, Jeff. I focused, but apparently I was too distracted by
I'll give you that.
whacking myself in the face.
That was pretty good. All right, so we have Dusty with 1.7 million, Dolores Fred with 1.4 million, Skytrapper I think I saw 1.3 million, and I'm not sure if Duct Tape got over 1 million.
Whack. Yeah, I'm not completely sure, but all of the players I think had good pushes. It's just, yeah, Dolores Fred and Dasvi had some very decent early levels, and I think we're able to focus on the later levels a lot.
1.37 million for Duct Tape. So
so that may be third place. With that said,
yeah.
Skytrap and Duct Tape are unfortunately eliminated. Dolores Fred manages to stay in, and Dasvi, Dasvi took the victory. I'm seeing if he wants to come and chat with us to talk about the experience with this wonderful, amazing video game.
People speedrun this, really? Like, I want to see the Humpty Scramble community grow.
Oh, yeah. Hello there, Dasvi, and welcome. Congratulations on your victory today.
Thank you.
Yeah, so talk to me a little bit about your experience with this game, because this was a very different match than I think we've had in the past.
Yeah, this one isn't actually about time, it's about score. And as you can see, completion actually helps.
Yeah, how so? Explain to me, like, what...
Okay, so the way that the scoring works is through those items, correct?
Yes.
So the best way to do those stages is essentially 100% them. And this game is one of those that if you go through a certain point, you can't go back. So you have to reset over and over again.
Okay.
And as long as you get some perfect, like all items collected, you also get a hefty bonus. And that's how you score in this game.
Okay. If you manage to get all the items, you get some good bonuses.
Precisely 50,000 points.
Yeah, that's
and I got it
big.
on stage 2, which was pretty good.
Yeah. Honestly, you had over 1.7 million points at the on I think the second to last attempt that you were doing there.
Yeah, basically the way that scoring works is that every save file keeps the score that you have. So, for example, you can do the last stage in order to get a perfect score.
Yeah,
that's what I did.
Okay. Yeah, good.
But I do have to say some extra things about the game. First of all,
sure.
Tank controls in a 3D precision with big question marks.
I mean, that's how Wolfenstein was done.
Yep.
Which, that was significantly earlier. Yeah. Really, they should have moved away and had strafing again.
Honestly, it was like pretty interesting to just go through I think it was the second to last stage where you had to avoid the center of the pillar.
Oh yeah.
So in order to see what if there was a door, was just going strafing through the wall, then turning right, strafing the wall, turning right. I'm like, oh god, this is also a maze, isn't it? Thankfully, the last maze is pretty easy once you understand the gimmick.
Okay. Chad is correcting me. Apparently, Wolfenstein had strafing, but look, I was a child, and strafing
it doesn't feel the same because
to me.
This one actually has like you're slow regardless.
Yeah.
So yeah, you even noticing the platforming, like just how slow you move.
Yeah, so this game was released, I believe, for free as an advertisement, which
shovelware.
Shovelware. Or freeware, yeah. For a free game, do you think that it would be worth playing? Like back in the day when it came out in, I think, the late 90s?
Honestly, the actual stage design controls aren't that bad. The thing that would actually make me turn the game off is the music. Besides the mountain stage, the rest are just intolerable. Oh
my gosh,
like,
the cave,
hear...
cave stage, like especially that music, just made me
my
laugh.
worst is actually the main menu and third stage music.
Really?
Where it's like, but there's like a synth in the back that you just hear. It's like okay, and then it's like being stuck in a traffic jam. And I don't like games that remind me of being stuck in a traffic jam.
Yeah, traffic jams aren't exactly the best places to be. I'd agree with you. Yeah, with that said, seriously, great job. You needed to do well this match, and you did.
Yeah, by the way, I was also the player that had the fatal computer crash, which caused one game to be a 3-player instead of 4-player.
Oh no!
So, feels better.
I'm
now
glad
I've
that your
actually...
computer didn't crash this time, yeah.
Yep. Well, thankfully it wasn't running like Dreamcast stuff,
Yeah.
which is probably what caused the previous crash.
Dreamcast!
Yep.
It's very
Dreamcast
possible. Well,
Yeah.
cool. Is there anything that you're streaming over at your channel these days that people should know about?
Not really. I almost never stream. The only time I stream is like when I have a there's probably a highlight of me playing Toho.
Okay.
But that's like 1 year ago.
What about offline? Any new games that you've been playing that you have fun with?
I'm mostly a card game guy, to be fair. I only joined the Kuso6rande because I was like, okay, it seems something fun to do for an hour.
What card games?
Or pretty much anything, like Shadowverse, Cardfight Vanguard,
Okay.
and Yu-Gi-Oh! As well.
Well, cool. Yeah, I'm glad that you came and joined. Great job today. And I'm always interested in various types of games. I haven't played too many. Well, I played a lot of old card games with my family back in the day.
I still remember like the day of putting on there, just loading the the poker games. Oh man.
Yeah, Hearts is where it's at, okay?
And to be fair, not all of them were good for the ripe age of 8. But still.
Nah, it's fine.
But still. Anyway, thanks for having me. I actually gotta go to sleep because it's like 12 here.
Go sleep. Yeah, have a great night. Jeff, thank you so much for the game. We'll go ahead and raid Lizstar. If anybody has a good raid message, please let me know. Otherwise, Dasvi, take care. Bye. Jeff, okay, I guess Jeff is gone. I'm gonna chill here until we have a good raid message. Does anybody... No, we're not talking about lobster eggs. Absolutely not. Unacceptable. Carrots and yogurts and eggs. No. Why do people have such terrible ideas? We're not meant... No. Okay. We're not doing any... This is Lizstar we're rating. We need to do... Scramble. Oh, I like that. Scramble. We're gonna do Scramble. Okay, we're doing Scramble, okay? We're rating Lizstar and we're yelling Scramble, and nothing that is going to get me thrown into Twitch jail. Okay, go, yell Scramble. Do not yell butt crotch. Oh, no, do not, okay? If anybody does, I will seriously ban you here. Okay, everybody, see you later. Till tomorrow. Wait, Liz would appreciate that? Still ban you. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye.